So I have to guess they're within 10 pounds.
I think so too, and not a lot of guys at heavyweight can match the speed and athleticism of AJ Ferrari, but Feldman, one of those guys that's probably pretty close.
Yeah, it's just the flexibility of Ferrari, the strength, and looks like he's got a little splint on his index finger right there. Something different.
And we're underway here. AJ Ferrari for Nebraska, ranked #1, taking on #6, Nick Feldman. Ferrari, couple-time All-American. One of those was an NCAA championship title back in 2021.
And I think just a casual observation when watching Feldman yesterday, a little less shooting across the body. He's got a really good high crotch shot, you know, head to the outside shot on the right leg of Ferrari, you know, and kind of was last year at the end of the year kind of getting caught shooting across the body, particularly in against the taller heavyweights. But yesterday when watching him, he was making a little bit more, you know, a few more single leg shots, a little more directly on it, and wasn't necessarily looking to switch to a double right away. They're good single leg finishes. Kind of an adjustment he has made.
Yeah, could have been a point of emphasis in the offseason and one that could pay off. Ferrari yesterday really put on an offensive display, put up a lot of points against a backup in that Lehigh duel, but then really impressed with his dominant performance over Tegadali of Michigan.
Yeah, everybody was kind of shocked about that, but I don't really, you know, he's got the conditioning to be able to do that. And you gotta remember when he was wrestling at 197, you know, he was going to that weight class was full of hammers, all right, that would, you know, very difficult to be able to score on. So they weren't going to be, you know, so when he was in the limelight there, he was pretty much almost impossible to take down, which really helped him. And so that was his way to win at 197. At this weight class, it's a little bit different. He's going to be able to get to the legs. He's going to be able to finish. He's going to be able to use his speed, his footwork, all right, to be able to score, you know, when he wants to. And you got to be a little bit more measured at this weight class. You know, shot selection and when to shoot is pretty much more important, I think, at this weight class, and then at others.
Interesting note that AJ's brother Angelo wrestling on the mat over. Normally those guys are kind of mat side for each other, but right now competing at the same time.
And get your family on the edge of their seat. And if you're Feldman in this match, you just got to find a way. Again, are there shots that are there? All right. But you don't necessarily have to be in a hurry. And is there something that you can do to wear, you know, AJ down? I mean, his conditioning looks great. Good job of stopping 3 straight on shots right there. All right. All right. And you got a warning because of that. Because 3 straight shots equal a warning.
And he got that warning right at the end of the period. Also, in the sequence, split the bridge of the nose of Feldman, so they're going to clean that up. But yeah, as you watch that first period, kind of try to figure out look
at our screen there. That Tom's letting him know.
Yeah, that leading with the head. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. As you watch that first period, try to figure out what the. Here's a look at that. Here's a look at that sequence. Level change and down block from Feldman. That's the way both guys are trying to wrestle in that sequence.
Yeah.
Thinking about Feldman's strategy in that first period, it did seem like he emphasized pulling on that head of Ferrari. And
yeah, but Ferrari's pretty difficult to get in that type of a position. He doesn't bury his head very much. He will sacrifice elevation for being able to move his feet.
Yeah, he's not afraid to stand basically straight up and stance.
He'll almost like a boxer.
sit out for Feldman. Ferrari trying to follow, but Feldman's away in 4 seconds.
That's good work there by Feldman, because AJ can follow you. And like I said, a lot of times it's just a matter of footwork in the top position to be able to go ahead and just chase a guy down 4 or 5 times, and then when he doesn't do as good a job, get a good mat return and get him flat. So he avoided that by good back pressure. Yeah, you see it. Ferrari he's always willing to be able to go ahead and keep his head a little higher coming out of his stance, but his feet are moving. When he comes out of his stance, his feet still move.
And he welcomes guys into that leg so he can drop the hips on them.
Yep. His counter shots. One thing I would make sure that I was doing as Feldman is that never, you're going to touch Ferrari here. You've got to go ahead and no soft hands, all right? So you can't go ahead and just, touch him and, march into him. You've got to be pulling, pushing. And if you're coming back out of it, you've got to be working the top of the head.
Ferrari, in addition to his physical skills, one of the more tactical wrestlers in the upper weights. It's interesting to listen to interviews with him where he talks about his opponents. He knows what they all do, and he's got a game plan for pretty much all of them, and you can tell he respects the speed and offense of Feldman. Respects the defense too, not taking a lot of attacks. So
straight on shot. Feldman tried to go a little duck under right there. That was good work there to get himself. Now he's got to get off the edge a little bit. Oh, he got an opportunity to score right there on the go behind. I think AJ got hurt in that situation.
He looks like maybe his head.
Yeah, you think he got his bell rung there, because you could tell that there's a big noise when he hit that. Let's see this. Watch this. Collision of the heads, all right, but then the counter shot. All right. Right here. Boom. All right.
Yeah, just kind of
fell for it. You just don't see that from him, and he looked a little bit dazed after that happened.
Hesitated there on the edge, and he's still just laying flat on his back. And man, you hope he's okay.
Just rolled back over.
That's two big guys colliding, and
so I don't. The officials are going to the review on this, and I think they're probably going to take a look and see whether he, collided heads or something like that. But I didn't see any head collisions there. I saw a guy who got snapped down into the res light.
Yeah.
Or not. Right here, boom, all right. I don't see anything there. He fouled it through, all right. Feeling all right there. Actually, Feldman's the one that took it in the face.
Yeah.
Right, boom, right.
Yeah.
He just lost position there because normally he would post his left hand there, but you know that Feldman, underhooked that, and with all his momentum going forward, the only thing that planted was his face.
Ferrari.
You see that? Did you see
I
that?
did.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So
his face hit that mat and kind of just.
It hit because Feldman caused that action here. He collapsed that left arm of Ferrari, and he lost all of his position there.
The officials are still looking at something, and
I don't think they could. I don't think there was anything that.
Good news now is that Ferrari's got the headgear back on, so feeling good enough to continue.
Well, what I like also about this, as far as entertainment goes, I mean, now if the score stays the same here, you've got AJ's going to really get on the offense right now because needs a takedown.
And the time is at 0 seconds on the clock, so that might be what they're reviewing is, did that action happen before the time had expired?
Right. Yep, confirmed.
Ferrari having a conversation with the official, and now third period. It's his choice. He'll go bottom.
And if you're, Feldman in this situation, you were able to get out early, so you're not worried about a reversal, and a reversal is not going to help Ferrari anyway. So you want to just make him work a little harder. He's had a little rest right there, so you want to make him work hard. If you have that skills, you're going to let him go. And this match is going to get interesting now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ferrari has to score. He's trying to put his leg in Feldman's hands.
Yeah. Feldman, nice shot, reshot right there, drives back through.
Wow.
Right. If we ever had any doubt about whether he was okay right there, he bowled right through. Feldman almost head first.
And
right here, oh, boom. Oh gosh, that is beautiful. That's a freight train double, man.
Absolutely, and they're gonna have to clean the blood up from that one. A lot of times you'll see coaches complain about that, but man, that's the way you teach it. Everybody has cheered many times when Jordan Burroughs has done that over the years, and that's just the way you shoot a double.
Yeah, you keep your feet on the tracks, you're gonna get run over by the train. And that's, Feldman was out there, out in front of him there, and then every time you come up, you want to come to a little bit better angle, so it's not, you're just off to the side a little bit. Protect yourself.
Ferrari has at 197, a lot of skills in the top position, but Feldman's a tough guy to ride. You think he's going to go right back to his feet? Do you think he'll stick to the ride here? Go.
I think he'll go back to his feet, because it happens so quickly, and again, he's already got him warned for stalling as well. So that could play a part in this.
Yeah, that stall call is big in this situation. Although they're showing ride techniques with Brock Hardy over there in the corner, so who knows? Maybe that's an indicator. Yeah. Or maybe Brock Hardy just likes working on that stuff on the side of the mat. You never know.
Old guy at the Y. Hawkeyes get a big takedown over there.
That duel has been crazy throughout. All right, blood's cleaned up. Ready to get back to this one. Ferrari so far committed the ride. Feldman, though, gets up and away in 5 seconds, so it's 5-4. Ferrari's run through that double earlier in this period, and we'll see if he gets back to that.
And I think if you're Feldman, you want to close the distance here. You don't want to let Ferrari operate in space like that, because you got the straight double. So now we're going to have another blood time. Yeah. Iowa wins a big match over there at Dean. Division III transfer, looks the part, doing a great job.
Yeah, he's had a couple really big wins already in this tournament. Cody Merrill, big-time recruit for Oklahoma State, and that's going to secure the dual meet victor for Iowa, I believe.
And that meet's over with. Ben Keeter did not wade in today.
Wow, Iowa just gave him a forfeit at heavyweight. Here we go, minute 12, and Feldman takes a shot. Shot for Ferrari.
What he's got to be careful about, Feldman. Nice little swing single there to get away from that direct pressure from Ferrari. And I think he wants to stay in a lock position here. And Ferrari working for a double over. That's usually not his strength. Yeah, he wants to get back to, working from space. He clears out of the tie. Sweep single by Ferrari. All right, nice job of Feldman basically shucking and getting to the corner, circling out of that position. If you're Feldman, if he does get on the leg, you got to counter it like you're in the center of the mat. Stop it. You can get on a little angle. Don't take it straight on.
Both benches on their feet for the conclusion of this one. Shot Ferrari. Feldman down blocks.
20 seconds left. Nice job of getting to the corner right there. Straight on shot.
Feldman's got to be careful about that stall call. They're going to go close to the out of bounds. Feldman circles in.
That's it. 5 seconds left. So they come back to the center. One more shot by Ferrari.
Feldman gets it done. Nick Feldman, 5-4 over AJ Ferrari. Pumps his chest, and that's a big win for the landscape at heavyweight this year.
Huge win. Hard fought.
And Nick Feldman, some of those things he's worked on the offseason, Jim, maybe paying off, and that's going to move him up the rankings.
Incredible.